All right. Again, thank you for jumping on board. Your friend is really super. I mean, you might be friends, you might be family members, but here's the common denominator. You're on the phone call tonight not to buy anything. You're on the phone call because we're trying to get the word out about what your friend is, or your loved one is doing and why they're so excited about our company. My name is Rico. My job tonight is to give you some information on what we do so that in the hopes that you might know somebody in the future that we could help out with our service. So the name of our company is LegalShield, and what I'm going to cover tonight is who we are, what we do, and why so many people are joining us right now. When I first started with the company, they asked me if I had ever signed a contract or a document, or if I had ever been overcharged or treated unfairly, or if I had ever received a traffic ticket or known a victim of identity theft. And my answer to every single one of these questions was yes. But it wasn't just, it was yes. And of course, everybody on the phone call has been through these situations. But then they asked me if I had ever had an attorney help me out with any of these. And my answer to that was no, but it wasn't just no. It was more like heck no, because there was no way I was going to have an attorney pay him $300 an hour to look over my cell phone contract. It just didn't seem like a legal situation to me. But what I've learned since I've been with the company is we're involved in legal situations every day. And a legal situation is any situation where you think the advice of an attorney might be useful. At least that's what it should be. Unfortunately, my definition of a legal situation before I was with the company was any situation that was so traumatic that I could actually afford, or I could borrow money for, or borrow money from my family to retain an attorney, because attorneys seemed to me to be unattainable because of the cost, as well as things like they were intimidating and just kind of out of reach for me. LegalShield, our company's unique service and a priceless benefit. LegalShield gives you the ability to talk to an attorney on any matter without worrying about the high hourly costs. So for one flat monthly fee, you can access legal advice no matter how traumatic or how trivial the issue. So under the protection of LegalShield, you and your family can live your life on your terms, worry-free every day and every night. Last year, we had 2 million requests into our system. So people picked up the phone and contacted our attorneys 2 million times. And how our membership works is it's legal advice over the phone, unlimited issues. Our members are covered in every single state. We have 49 major providing law firms. We have 2,700 other law firms that we refer out to. So, for instance, here, we're in Colorado right now. Here in Colorado, if you have an issue, you call up Riggs, Abney, Neal, Turpin, Orbison, and Lewis. They're the third largest law firm in Colorado. They have 120 attorneys that work for them between their Oklahoma office and their Colorado office. And the average tenure for an attorney at that firm is 16 years. So what happens is you call up, there's a screener that answers the phone. The screener is going to take your name, your number, what the issue is, and then they're going to get it to the proper attorney. See, with our system, it's not a paralegal. It's not some jack of all trades that's going to call you back. It's an attorney that specializes in that area of law. If it's a real estate issue, it's going to be a real estate attorney that calls you back. If it's a child custody issue, it's going to be a family law attorney. If it's a criminal issue, it's going to be a criminal attorney that calls you back. And you're guaranteed a phone call back within 8 business hours. They're going to answer any question you have. They're going to advise you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should proceed. They're going to tell you if you're right. They're going to tell you if you're wrong. We'll also write letters and make phone calls on your behalf. I had no idea how much weight a letter from an attorney carried until I actually had to use the service for something that most people would consider a trivial. As a matter of fact, I thought it was a trivial issue. Long story short, I was up in Boulder. I ended up getting a private parking ticket because I parked in a lot that I wasn't supposed to park in. I didn't know because there wasn't a sign. They put 2 boots on my car. I ended up having to give up $50 to get my car out of the ransom situation that it was in because they were holding it hostage. I asked the guy at the time if he thought it was fair, and he said, yeah, he thought it was fair because there was a sign that was 300 feet away that I was supposed to notice, and I didn't. I didn't notice the sign. I didn't even know that was actually an entrance to the complex that I had pulled into. So what I did was I called the attorneys because the gentleman who took my $50 told me that Colorado law states that there only needs to be 1 sign per parking lot to let people know that they're not supposed to park there. And there was no way I was going to see this sign. So I called the law firm, and the attorneys did some research. They called me back. They said that I was right and that company was wrong, and what did they want me to do about it. And I asked them what were my options, and they said, well, write a letter and make a phone call. So they wrote a letter on my behalf. 3 days later, I got a check for $50 in the mail. I got a letter of apology and a letter thanking them for bringing to their attention that their sign had been stolen at the entrance that I pulled into, and that they were super, super sorry that I was so inconvenienced. This is something I never would have had an attorney help me with. I had no idea how much power the letter from an attorney carries, and it helped me out tremendously in this situation. Our membership also includes contract and document review. We'll review an unlimited amount of contracts, up to 10 pages. You just fax it over to the law firm. They'll get back to you. They'll tell you what you should sign, what you shouldn't sign, and tell you what your rights are in that situation. We also will prepare a will for our members. This statistic is actually pretty amazing. 80% of Americans don't have a will. So what we do is we put it together for you. It includes a living will and a healthcare power of attorney, and there's no additional cost outside of the monthly membership fee. We also handle traffic-related issues. This is the only part of our membership that we ask our members to wait a little bit before they go driving like a teenager again. But it's 15 days from the time you have the membership. If you have a moving violation, as long as there's no drugs or alcohol involved, we send an attorney to court to represent you in that, to negotiate lower points, lower fine. Sometimes even get the ticket completely dismissed and kicked out of court. We do this to protect your clean driving record, because the more points you have against your driving record, the more you pay for insurance, and we just don't think it's fair, especially in this day and age when it seems like moving violations are becoming more of a money-making endeavor for the municipalities as opposed to a keeping everybody safe, which is what they were originally designed for. We also offer trial defense. This part of our membership is great to defend you in case you're ever named in a civil lawsuit. You have a certain block of hours that are allotted to you when you have the membership. It's 60 hours from the day you sign up for the membership. It goes up 60 hours every single year to a maximum of 535 hours, and that's broken up between pre-trial and representation at trial. And if you're named in a civil lawsuit, we defend you. And we defend you until those hours are exhausted before you have to come out of pocket for any amount of money. We also offer 24/7 emergency access. This is part of our membership. If you're arrested, if you're detained, if there's a warrant being served on you, if you're in an accident, if the state's trying to take your children, we have where you can pick up the phone, dial an 800 number, and you are routed immediately to an attorney that can help you in that situation. We offer a 25% preferred member discount as well on things that our members would normally hire an attorney for. Things like a divorce, like a sticky child custody issue, DUI, things along those lines, a bankruptcy, 25% preferred member discount on what the attorney would normally charge. We also offer IRS audit assistance. There's 50 hours a year of an attorney's time waiting to be used if you are named in an audit, and then we send a tax attorney to the audit for you or with you, whatever you prefer. We also offer access to all our online legal forms. You can actually download those. You can call the attorney. They'll tell you how to fill it out. You can then fax it over to them to make sure that you did it correctly, and that's all included inside our membership. We also offer identity theft protection. Identity theft is repeatedly the #1 consumer complaint category in America. 22,000 people will have their identity stolen today. So we offer identity theft protection. And identity theft manifests itself in many, many different ways, from credit fraud to Social Security fraud to driver's license fraud. And victims often face such issues as problems securing a loan or harassment from debt collectors or possible arrest for crimes committed by the identity theft. And it's not just those areas. There's also medical identity theft, where someone goes to the hospital and says that they're you, and inadvertently they're changing your medical records just because they don't want to pay the bill at the end of the day. So not only do you get the bill, but now if you're in some sort of tragic situation where you have to have an emergency blood transfusion and the doctor doesn't have time to go and check your blood type, and they go to your medical records, and the identity thief had a different blood type than you, you now have a very serious situation because you could die from that situation, being transfused with blood that's not yours. So what we do is we actually we offer an identity theft shield that's backed by Kroll Advisory Solutions. Our membership covers credit monitoring, credit report, a credit consultation, and a consultation to help you prevent your identity from being stolen. But we actually take it a step further. We're the only company in the industry that has done this. We partnered with the world's largest private investigating firm. It's Kroll Advisory Solutions. They are #1 at what they do. They've been around for 40 years. They're a billion-dollar company, and they're the company that does the background checks for the CIA, the NSA, and the FBI. They're the same company that unraveled the Enron scandal. They're the company that was able to find Saddam Hussein's money when the Kuwaiti government couldn't find it. They're the biggest and the best out there. If your identity is breached and you own our membership, you sign a one-page limited power of attorney, and a Kroll licensed private investigator will go to work and fix your identity, not just your credit. They will fix your identity 100% back to pre-theft status and they'll just ask you a couple questions along the way. We're the only company in the industry that does that. LegalShield puts professionals to work to provide the protection that you deserve. We have dedicated provider law firms. They're quality controlled to the highest standards. They're monitored by LegalShield, and they're prepaid and ready to advise. They're just sitting there. They're waiting. They're waiting to take our members' phone calls. We're actually the largest client for every one of our law firms that we use. We're their number one client. And for instance, in California, the company that we use, they also have a client called the LA Dodgers. We're actually a bigger client than them. And Kroll Advisory Solutions, they're the world's leading risk consulting firm. They have Fortune 500 clientele. They're also prepaid and ready to advise. And LegalShield's customer service professionals ensure that our members get the service that they deserve. Now, every single thing that I just talked to you about over the phone, we're able to offer this at only $26.95 a month. Our standard legal plan is $17. Our identity theft plan is $12.95. The total is $29.95. We give a $3 discount when you bundle them together. That's how we arrived at a $26.95 membership. The total, and that membership includes yourself, your dependents, and your spouse. Your first month's payment, there's an additional $10 enrollment fee. But here's the best part about our membership. There's no contract. We're the only company in the industry, we're the only company in the world that offers the plans that we offer. And so we don't have to lock our members into a long-term contract. We want them to be satisfied. We want them to be able to get out of it if they're not. But we also know that we're the only game in town, so we don't have to offer or lock them into some sort of long-term commitment. It's really not a financial decision. For less than $1 a day, isn't it worth protecting your family? And most of the people that we talk to say yes. But again, that's not the reason why you're on the phone call tonight. This is just information to help your friend, your loved one out, to get the word out about what they have chosen as their new career or possibly an additional income stream. So what we're asking you tonight is, who do you know? Who do you know who has children, has had their identity compromised, is self-employed or a business owner, or needs to prepare or update their will? They could benefit from this membership right now. And so basically what we're doing is we're just asking you for some referrals. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to I'm going to stop recording the conference.